Welcome back to the Optimized Career Solutions YouTube channel. I'm Dennison, hopefully your favorite career coach. And this month, in the month of March, we're talking all about managing March. That's right. Increasing your management skills so that you can advance in your career. If you haven't checked it out yet, make sure that you have checked out our latest podcast episode of the Career Advancement Academy podcast, where we talked about managing up, where you can learn some skills about how to manage your relationship with your boss or your manager. And today we're going to be continuing that conversation where we're going to be talking about managing up in using the tools such as strategic communication, building a positive relationship, navigating challenges, and advocating for yourself when it comes to your relationship with your manager or your boss. The goal here is really to create a win-win situation where both you and your manager feel supported and empowered to achieve great results. And sometimes here's what happens, the reality of it, right? When it comes to working in corporate America, at times, individual contributors, which means people who are not managing other people, that's an individual contributor. Individual contributors do such a great job at their job, right? And you've probably seen this. You've seen someone who's been an excellent star employee and they're killing it at their job. And in order to keep that employee, in order to make sure that they are progressing with that company, they go ahead and they get promoted, right? And then you are the lucky person who gets put underneath that wonderful individual contributor who's excellent at their job, but might not have been given the resources, the tools, or the training to be a great manager, but was given that title and that promotion. And so you might be in a little bit of a tough situation where you like your manager, you like your boss, but they weren't given the resources to be set up for success. And so in order for you to have a great relationship, a great work environment, it is incumbent upon you for you to help the situation to manage up, right? And it's a great skill to have because in a lot of different situations that you're in, if you can manage up, you're going to be able to advance in your career by utilizing these tough skills that not everyone has, such as strategic communication, building those positive relationships, navigating obstacles and challenges, and advocating for yourself. So let's dive in and talk about how you can manage up in order to advance in your career. So let's talk about strategic communication, right? Does your manager prefer emails? Are they more face-to-face type person? Do they like quick and concise communication, or do they like to sit down and verbally process out a project, right? When it comes to managing up and your communication, sometimes it becomes really valuable to tailor your communication style to that of your manager in order to come up with a win-win solution, right? An overarching way for you to be productive in your role overall is that most executives, most leaders, they don't have a lot of time, right? And so if you're using your one-on-ones to verbally process things out, it might not be the most effective use of your time. Better ways for you to use your time with your manager is to be concise yet comprehensive, right? So time is precious. So getting to the point with the necessary details without adding in all the fluff around it is going to be that much more valuable to your manager who is managing other people besides you. If you're proposing a new project, start with the value add. Start with, hey, I want to start a new project because I see that we can increase value in these certain areas, right? Align it to your goals that you've already discussed, right? I want to take on this project because it will help me meet this goal and provide this value. And here's the problems and the solutions that we're going to be tackling, right? When it comes to communicating with your boss, and if you're seeing a problem in the team, in your role, in a project, in something that you're tackling, a really great way to have strategic communication is not just bring that problem to your manager, but bring proposed solutions as well. When you do this, it's not just creating an extra mental tab with your boss, it showcases and saying, hey, I have a problem, and now it's becoming a problem for them that they have to solve. It is also allowing you to showcase to your boss, hey, I'm letting you know, and I'm ensuring that we all have awareness of this problem, but don't worry, I'm strategic enough, I am going to solve it, and here are the ways that I believe that we can solve it. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. Do you agree with A solution, B solution, or C solution, right? This is a really great way to keep your boss informed strategically and in a concise manner while securing buy-in to your proposed solution and letting them know what you're doing moving forward. This is a great way to be prepared, right? Making sure that before each meeting, you're prepping a clear agenda, you're prepping to make sure that you have solutions to problems, and you're ensuring that you have the questions that you want answered ready to go, instead of sitting there saying, oh, I think I had an extra question, but I don't remember what it is. Can I set another meeting with you? Or making the most out of your time. In the end, your boss, your manager is there to help support you and make sure that you have the resources and tools that you need in order to be successful in your job. But if you don't know the tools and the resources that you need in order to be successful, it's going to be a lot of mismatched communication, right? So showing respect for your manager by making the most out of your time together and being prepared ahead of time is not just going to help manage up by being respectful of their time, but it's also going to help you as well by getting the most out of your relationship with them and your time with them. And remember, feedback is a two-way street, right? Effective communication is that dialogue. It's not a monologue. It's not just you sitting there waiting for feedback on your job. It is okay for you to respectfully and professionally ask for support in a different way if you're not getting that. For instance, if you are noticing that your one-on-ones are continually being canceled by your boss, yet you need to secure that buy-in to the solution to a big problem in order to move forward in your role, it is okay for you to say, hey, boss, I've been noticing that our one-on-ones continually are getting canceled, yet I truly need your feedback and your support on a problem that I am facing. I have some solutions that I need to secure your buy-in on. Please, can we make sure that we are meeting this week at this time? If that does not work for you, can we change our regularly scheduled one-on-one into a time that will work for both of us? Okay. So communicating in a way that's assertive, but is professional and kind is going to go a very long way for you. With this all being said, it's going to help you out in a very big way to really make sure that you're not just self-aware, but also aware of what's going on their plate too, right? This is going to help you be strategic in your asks. If you're asking for additional meetings, take a look at their calendar, right? Take a look at what they're dealing with, what's on their plate, how their relationship is with their boss as well. And that will help you to ask when it's appropriate, what's appropriate, etc., right? So if you're noticing, hey, they're in all day meetings and you need to secure buy-in on something in order to move forward, maybe shooting them a quick email might be a better solution than requesting a face-to-face or virtual meeting if they're not going to have the time, right? And keeping it concise and to the point is going to be a better bet for both of you in order to make sure that you're getting what you need out of that conversation and minimizing the time spent on them reading that email, right? So with that being said, the goal here is to build a positive relationship, right? You want to make sure that you have a great relationship with your manager so that they see the value in you, right? And you're not having those worries about, hey, am I performing well? You just have a great relationship where there's open communication, etc., right? You want that mutual respect, that understanding, collaborative nature, and really to have that support. So really showing some genuine interest into what's going on with them and their challenges is not only going to go a long way for that relationship, but also for your career, right? if there is some things that you can take off of their plate when you have the bandwidth, that's going to help showcase you being that person that goes above and beyond and is interested in not just what's going on with the team, but what's going on at that next level, right? Hey, I noticed that you are staying in the office later and later, or I'm getting emails later in the evening. I want to make sure that we're doing as best we can for the team to move us forward towards these goals. Is there anything that I can take off your plate once I wrap up on this project, right? That might be a great way for you to become that trusted advisor to help out. But of course, remember your boundaries. Look at your own priorities. It's not going to be helpful if you're taking things off of their plate and not getting done what's on your plate as well, right? Because you don't want them worrying about, okay, I just gave them this project, but they're not getting done their work, right? So really being aware, self-aware of what you can take on and where you can help support. A really great way to continue building a positive relationship is to celebrate your successes together, right? Acknowledge ways that your manager helped in your achievements, right? Celebrate their victories as well. It's a really interesting thing being a middle manager. They don't get a lot of celebration. And so when you can celebrate their achievements, that means a lot. And it's not just, hey, a boss and an employee thing. It's a person thing. It's a human thing. We as humans like to be recognized for doing a hard job and doing something that you're proud of, right? So that's something that can go a really long way when it comes to building a good and positive relationship with your manager, especially when they're celebrating you back, right? A great way to do this is to think of a time your manager supported a suggestion you made too. That's really exciting too. How did that make you feel? Now flip that. Look for opportunities to support your manager's initiatives actively as well. Because in the end, it's really hard to forget that you're all on the same team working towards a common goal. And so being able to really support each other in those initiatives is going to go a long way. When you build a positive relationship, again, this is going to serve everyone, not just you, not just your manager, but your whole team and the company as a whole. Your department is going to feel the benefits. It's going to create a more positive work environment. Your confidence is going to increase, right? Because you don't have to have that underlying anxiety of, am I valued? Am I a contributing member of this team? Does my boss like me? There's that open, trusting relationship in a positive working relationship. And you've also established someone professionally that supports your goals. This is how those really life-giving and long-term relationships in your career are built, is through those small every day, every week moments where you are supporting your manager, they are supporting you, you are recognizing each other's achievements, and you're coming up with solutions to help each other and overcome obstacles together. These are also how I've helped clients land new positions, because people that I have worked with have called on people that used to be their employees, and they love to help because of that positive relationship and vice versa. So this is a really great way to not just help in your immediate, but you're helping in your long-term career by building really lasting relationships. Let's talk about challenges. Challenges are inevitable, but how you navigate these challenges can really strengthen your ability to navigate up. Like I mentioned, approaching your manager with potential solutions and not just identifying problems is going to showcase your initiative. It's going to also showcase your strategic thinking and your growth mindset, right? A lot of times with people who have fixed mindsets, all they can think about is the negative and the problems. And when you bring the negativity and the problems to your manager, what that does is it creates this environment where you are like the town crier. You're the one who continually is bringing problems. And when you are bringing that to the manager, they're going to start seeing you as someone who layers things onto their to-do list. Hey, great. Now, as a manager, I now have more problems because of this individual, and I need to find someone else on the team to solve it because this individual doesn't have that mindset to think past that problem. So bringing solutions, bringing innovation, bringing those problem solving skills, that's going to go a long way. Being adaptable and open to feedback is also going to help you develop the skill if you're not sure how to do it quite yet. If you have a problem where you don't know what the solution is, be willing and open to receiving feedback in order to develop that muscle. It might look something like this. Hey manager, I have this problem and unfortunately I don't have a solution for it. Here are the ways that I've attempted to find a solution and I'm coming up against a roadblock. I would really love your help or your advice on how to move forward, right? This is a way of kind of putting that ego aside, getting a little bit humble and really showcasing to your manager, I'm here to grow. I'm here to learn so that I can get better for the next time, right? And then at the end, a simple thank you is going to go a long way. Hey, thank you for the feedback. I know that this was a challenging situation, but I know how to approach this next time, right? This is showcasing growth. This is showcasing that, hey, next time when I have a problem, I am going to use this lesson so that I can bring a solution next time. Okay. And advocating for yourself is going to be really important, especially if you are not starting out with a decent relationship with your boss, or potentially you've been put under a boss and you're not sure how to start out building that positive relationship. Here's the truth when it comes to managing employees. As a manager, as a leader, you are focused. That manager is focused on their role and accomplishing their goals. They also usually have more than one report. And so they're not just focused on getting their work done, accomplishing their goals, getting their projects done, but making sure that everyone else has the projects that they need to get done, making sure they're getting it done, making sure that those employees are engaged, hoping that those employees aren't going to leave, potentially doing hiring, right? Being responsible to upper level leadership, navigating organizational changes and change management. So there's a lot of things going on that manager's mind. And when it comes to performance reviews, career goals, all those other things, it can be just human nature to kind of forget about some of the things that you've done throughout the year because they just don't have the capacity. They're focused on their own path forward. And so it's really important for you to advocate for yourself to grow in your career. One of the mistakes that I've made in my career is assuming that my leaders and my manager knew all of the hard work that I was putting in because we talk about it every week, right? Well, come December, my manager didn't remember all of that hard work that I put in January and February. So one of the things that you are going to want to do is really advocate for yourself and keep that kudos folder. I've done a whole video on the kudos folder. I think we talked about it for a whole week, and we really want to make sure, and the reason why I do this is because unfortunately, the only person that can really advocate for you in your career is you. So keeping your kudos folder, writing down the projects that you've accomplished, the things that you've been able to do for your team to make it better, to make it more efficient, to save costs, the things that you've been able to accomplish that affect the company's bottom line, that's something that you need to really make sure that you document for yourself. Also, asking for what you need. It's really important that if you have a big project to get done, but you don't have the software to get it done, or the resources to get it done, the time, the budget, whatever it is, you make sure that you communicate that to your boss. Because the fact of the matter is that your boss or your manager might tell you to get that done, assuming you already know how, have the resources, have the time, and that it's feasible. But they're not in the day-to-day of getting it done themselves. And so when you are in the day-to-day, they are hoping and expecting that you provide the feedback that, yes, this can be done. Yes, I have the resources to get it done. And if you don't, that you are communicating it back to them so that they can secure buy-in from upper level leadership in order to get you the resources or make adjustments as needed. The truth of the matter, and it sounds so simple, but we forget this in the day-to-day, is they won't know and they can't advocate for you to get you these things unless you tell them. So communicating, again, confidently, professionally, is going to go a long way so that you can do your job successfully. Now, advocating for yourself when it comes to a toxic boss. First of all, we have to address this because there are going to be times when, hey, all of this advice might be great when you are dealing with a regular human being who's a leader that maybe you're just trying to make sure that you have a great relationship with. Then there are times that you're dealing with bosses that happen to be toxic. You are not aligned. They are out for themselves. They're not interested in your career growth, and those are not great bosses to work for. First of all, recognizing the signs is important. If your boss is inappropriate, if they have constant negativity, if there is no feedback on your progress, if they have unrealistic demands, if they move on to more serious issues like harassment or inappropriate comments, these are the signs of toxic bosses. That's the first step, is to really recognize if that's what we are dealing with. There is an issue where, hey, my boss is a decent boss. We just don't get along. We have different personalities. I wouldn't call that a toxic boss, but there are toxic bosses that truly should not be in the position that they're in, and you need to recognize that sign. The second step is to really document everything. Document everything and keep documentation, such as emails, notes on projects, any notes from meetings that they send, or anything like that. Get support from HR and make sure that you know your rights. Search your local state laws and make sure that you get support from your HR team. And then plan your approach. So focus on specific behaviors and their impact on you. Avoid any accusatory language and work with a neutral mediator if possible. And of course, like I said before in this video, the only person that can advocate for you in your career is you, and you need to do what's necessary for you in order to feel safe. And no job is worth staying in a place that is toxic. Okay, so to sum up, the ways to build a positive relationship with your manager is truly being prepared, managing up with positive and concise and strategic communication, sharing mutual respect and support, and celebrating success together as a team, approaching challenges with solutions, being adaptable, and receiving feedback, right? The goal is to create win-win situations where you all feel supported and you can achieve results together. If you are struggling with this and you're looking for career coaching or support, make sure to book a free call with myself or my husband, Jack. The link is down below. We're here to help you get out of a toxic workplace if that's something that you're looking to do. We have many resources and support, such as resume writing, LinkedIn profile optimization, and strategic job search course bundle that will help you navigate a job search strategically. If you're looking for more one-on-one coaching on how to manage your boss, we can also talk about that as well. Make sure that you are subscribed to this channel so that you don't miss any episode that we put out. We put out a new episode or new video on this YouTube channel every Thursday, and a new episode of the Career Advancement Academy every Wednesday. Make sure to stay tuned, and I will see you next week.